Hey, it's Shop Talk, baby. This is the show where it's okay to be you. We're talking from Yale to jail and from the church house to the pimp house. Nothing's excluded on Shop Talk. So if you don't have a phone, I suggest you borrow one. Call in and voice your opinion live every Saturday morning from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Yeah, that's right, 10 a.m. to 12 noon. Don't forget to Shop Talk with your girl, because right here, we keeps it real.
We got so much to talk about that we need to just jump right in. And I usually play a song, but we just gonna go ahead and get right into this. Okay. Ha! Hey, lovely people. Welcome to Shop Talk with Mel. And I am your girl, Mel. And of course, I got my co-host, Nyk the Voice. What's happening, girlfriend?
Good morning. Everything and nothing. Hey.
You said everything and nothing. I know. Doesn't it seem like that? All the time. It's like, boom, what's going on? Everything, but actually nothing. Well, today's show topic is a new day. So, us having it as a new day, we're going to talk about all the exciting things that we can actually do and the growth that a lot of people have had, okay? And we also have the, we're going to get into the after show afterwards. So people could call in, my lovely listeners. You can actually call in to see what's happening. All right. So that's cool. I'll give that number out later on. All right, Nyk, how was your week?
It was busy. I work. Oh, that's about it.
That's what we do too, don't we?
Exactly. There's nothing else to do nowadays. I mean, this is our new normal. So look, that's all I do. Work. Hey.
No reason to call off, right?
Exactly. No reason to call off whatsoever. Where am I going?
I got my water in here. I promise to the lovely people that's viewing the show, this is not vodka.
Ooh, I wish I had vodka right about now. Or something.
This is water. Got my water.
Cocktail.
Got all my little stuff. Look, got all my little stuff ready to
usually I have my coffee. I ain't have time to go get my coffee, so I'm good though.
All right. Hey, listen, check this out. I'm at work, right? Speaking of work, I'm at work, and I never really realized this. This lady had a whole face of makeup, but like her face was ashy. Her face.
Who does that?
Right. I see it. So she don't wear foundation. But I was wondering, so today when I'm getting ready for the show, I was sitting there, I was like, okay, I got to make sure I'm right, make sure I put some lotion on. But ladies, put your lotion on, because all around here was it was all white. I died. I was like, oh man, I don't want to tell her like your face is ashy. And I don't know, how do you put lotion on after your face is beat?
Right. And you can always tell when your face
really
and ashy. You can feel it.
Right. When you hit the outside, when the air hits you. When the air hits you, that's when you actually can be like, oh, I'm ashy. When you in the house, maybe she don't know. So to the listening audience and to the viewers, if y'all know how to fix that problem, please let your girl know. Cause I might be, I'll be like, put lotion around here.
Now I do know, like if you go get your makeup done, you having lotion on your face, they'll take something and they'll clean all the oils off your face.
Okay. Okay, so they
they know, like when they clean all the oil off your face and everything, they have the right, especially because they need to know your skin combination. So you really need to know your skin combination. Let them know. But if they're a real good one, they can tell. And they have the right product to keep you from, with moisturizer or something in it to keep you from looking all pale, dry, ashy, whatever else.
Another thing we was talking about prior to the show, people who go live and what, Nyk?
Ooh, having boogies in their nose while you going live and be all up in the camera thinking you cute. Nah, bruh. Sis, go turn it off, turn it around, show the people, or go clean your nose. Something. That's just nasty.
Listen, I was laughing so hard because I was watching a live and the guy had great content, but he had people in his nose. So I guess they was there listening too. But I could not get past that, even though I was on the screen, looking at it. And every time that he would talk or breathe, it would be like,
Oh yeah,
and I'm thinking like, well, I hope it don't fly out. No, it ain't gonna touch me. But I just felt so bad for him. So what I end up doing afterwards, I was like, you got some visitors in your nose on your live and you could see it. So the moral of the story is what, Nyk?
clean your nose before you get on live. Look, y'all, look, I'm on my live to it. My nose is clean. I ain't gotta worry about it.
Just make sure all is well, right? When you on camera. But see, you know what? Due to the COVID-19, like your people that's usually in your camp, like, we have people to be like, oh, you need to do this, this, that, and fix it.
Right.
For my own, like, engineering, I'm missing that. I was like, I need y'all to come help me again, okay?
Right.
They'll tell you when things weren't right, the camera,
Right.
the lighting, the setting, everything. Shout out to you, Nate Woodard. He's up with the lighting. He made sure your girl was together.
Right.
All right, let's get on these hot topics real quick.
Okay.
Meghan Markle, born Rachel Meghan Markle, the one that married Prince Harry.
Uh-huh.
Well, baby Archie's birth certificate is changed. She didn't change it though.
The queen changed it?
Like, when on the birth certificate it had the parents' name.
Uh-huh.
She had her, Rachel Meghan Markle, and then it had, Harry and his name. Now I wrote this down because I wanted to get it all the way right. Okay, so I'm going to read exactly what it has. The palace changed it, and they changed her name to Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex, 39. That's what's on her on baby Archie's birth certificate as far as like the mom. And then Harry says His Royal Highness Prince Henry Charles Albert David Duke of Sussex. That's a lot of name, isn't it?
Yeah, but they got his name on there and just have her the Duchess of whatever.
Yep, the Duchess of Sussex, 39. And he has, right, so you caught that. It don't have her name at all.
Right. What's that about? I mean, they were against their marriage from the beginning. And you know why? Because she's white. I mean, she's black. He's white. What does that matter? They love each other or whatever. But yeah, I see why now, because a lot of people were complaining about them leaving and him giving up, his royalty title and everything. I don't blame him.
So do you think that the reason they changed that, and I want the listeners, you guys let us know what's up, and the viewing audience, do you think they changed it because they figured they wouldn't last?
Probably, but that still doesn't change the fact that that's his mother, and her name is Rachel Meghan Markle, or Meghan Markle, whatever the last name. That don't change the fact that his mama has a name, and it's not 39. It's not 39. That's crazy.
That's what they got her. Is that her? What's 30? I didn't know what 39 was for. I tried to do the research. I was like, is that her age? Like,
it's probably,
she's a 39th Duchess of Sussex.
Probably, yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's just move on to the ABC News chief. We're talking with The View. They like to call it, you know how Megan is on The View, right?
Mm-hmm.
Meghan McCain, and a lot of people dislike her. I think she's a big crybaby. What's your thoughts on her first? Let's go there. What's your thoughts on her, and then I'll tell you what's going on.
I don't like her. She's a political, starter. She just, she's
giving her political view.
Yeah, but she just rubs me the wrong way. She really does.
She does a lot of crying.
Yes.
And then she wants to dish it, but she can't take it. And that's the part that I realized. Anyway, the ABC News chief, James Goldstein, he abruptly resigned. Now, the reason that's important to Meghan McCain, because they were saying that was her ally. because they were like really tight. That was keeping her on because she, you know, she had conflict with Joy. She had conflict. Actually, she had conflict with everybody. Whoopi,
Yes.
you know, and what was keeping her on the show was him, that guy. Well, now he abruptly just left. So him leaving, what's going to happen to Megan McCain? I'll be
Right.
watching.
Right. Exactly.
And who would you replace her with? I like Sunny. Sunny Hostin. Who would be a good fit? Because remember, before her was what's the little girl name off of off the Cosby Show?
Raven or
Raven.
Simone.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they thought she didn't do well with them.
she didn't do well at all. She didn't do well at all. I tell you what, if Eve ever decided to leave her show, she would be a good one.
Well, to my understanding, Eve is leaving or has left.
Really? I haven't watched
her husband. We're gonna find out. That's on the top. Shout out to you, Cheryl. On the that's on the top. So we'll talk about
because the last time I watched it,
information.
A couple weeks ago, she was still on there, but there might have been a repeat show or something like that.
She was leaving. We're gonna find out. I had that answer for you. I'll definitely have that answer for you. Let's talk the stimulus real quick. Let's get through all these. I got too many. To my understanding, the 1400 will still be out there. Lovely People is still out there.
Yes.
Coming out, but not to all Americans. They were saying the needy Americans, the ones that need it the most, lower income. Now, I was having this conversation with someone else. How do you think that's fair?
I thought that's how they were doing it in the first place, because like they stopped the income at like a combination of the combined
for the 600 you're talking about? For the 600, yeah, you couldn't make over 75,000, but for the 1400, I still think that was, I really do. I think that was unfair as well. And the reason I say that is because, okay, if you are lower income and you don't make as much, what about the people who have their stuff and more money, more bills? Let's be realistic. That 600, that 1400, it still matters.
Right.
And you know, like, okay, well, I'm gonna pay my mortgage and my mortgage is this amount, but because I make this amount, because we're all affected by COVID.
Right.
I make this amount, I'm not eligible for the free money. I don't think it's fair. I like the all Americans.
Because guess what? I'm gonna tell you, my daytime job, I do loan assistant calls for, right now we're doing California for businesses. And they doing grants, anything up to from 1,000 to 100,000. You're eligible for, your business is eligible for a $5,000 grant. From 100,000 to $1 million, you're eligible for $15,000 grant, and anything over $1 million, you're eligible for $25,000 grant. So, you know, and we have people calling in there just because they say it's free money. You have to have, your job has to have, well, your company has to have been in business since June of 2019. I've had a lot of people who just started business last year and all this, so they're thinking they're eligible for it and they're not eligible for it right now. It's just like, so they're being given tax breaks up until, you know, up to anything over $1 million or whatever. So they're eligible for a $25,000 grant. But you have to prove everything. You got to, your taxes, you have to do like your profit loss sheet. We need that. All, you know, you have to prove how many people you employ, if you are like an unemployed, because they are giving money to Lyft drivers as well that were already driving and they took a loss or whatever for a while.
Now see, you're bringing up the Lyft driver. That's a good point, because when people were losing their job and then you decide, oh, I need a job and this is where it's at and I can drive around and, you know, take people wherever they need to go. So once they were affected by COVID and they couldn't work anymore, why wouldn't they be eligible if they just started doing Lyft because they had no choice.
Right, because the company that I work for, we partner with several different companies like the Small Business Development Center. You have organizations that specifically fund like Asians or minorities or women. There's a lot of people calling in for the Women Business Center. So you have different ethnic backgrounds that have their own, and so yeah, they have those stipulations. You have to have been in business at least since June of 2019, because they
Okay,
need
and
to,
not like December or November.
right.
So just at least 6 months of the
Because
last
they
year.
need to see your 2018, 2019 taxes. So it's like, yeah, but then it's also according to the board of directors, who they really, for real, who they decide they want, some of them, who they decide they want, they see fit, more fit, you know.
But wouldn't you want them to call? If I know it's free money, I don't know too many people that's gonna say, "Oh, okay, well, I'm not gonna call for the free money," because I'm gonna call for the free money.
Exactly, girl. That phone was jumping the last couple of days, but really yesterday, because our call center is open Monday through Friday, but today they're working, and this is PST 7 a.m., which would be 10 our time, till noon. There, you know, because we go by their time, because even though the company I work for is on the East Coast, we are doing California now, and you know, so we have to go by their times. And that phones were jumping off the hook because people trying to get their stuff in, trying to get their money in, making sure their documents are right. And it's like, yeah, so everybody is hit individually, business wise, and I really don't think it's fair. I mean, of course, millionaire, you know, they don't need no money. So yeah, I can
But
understand that.
see, you keep saying, you like just what you said, the millionaire don't need any money. Yes, the millionaire does. That's how a millionaire remains a millionaire, because if they keep pulling and there is no deposit, you are no longer a millionaire. But
Right.
that's just my thoughts. That's just my thoughts. I just want everybody to be treated fair. And I think that,
But see, with the millionaires, you know, they have their money. Their money is always going to make money, because as long as you put your money in an interest
listen,
account,
1 million makes you a millionaire. And you'll be down to a thousand there
no,
messing with
I
these
mean, what
people
I'm
the way
saying
they do it by next week.
right, with like anybody that makes a certain amount of money, they're going to put, instead of putting it in free checking, you're going to put it in the interest bearing account, so that your money is always making money when you're not.
But some don't even, know or don't trust people enough.
So,
Listen,
yeah.
I want to let you guys know, for the listeners that are listening to Shop Talk with Mel, and for the viewers that are tuning in and looking at us as we do the show live, please, please feel free to join us at the after show. The phone number is 515-602-9667. Again, 515-602-9667. And we'll just pretty much recap the show. And that starts at 12:30. All right. Just want to let you know, so you don't call right now. You can call after 12:30, and you can be
Right.
on the air with your girl. We'll just chop up and recap the after show, on especially on these hot topics. You know what? Let's talk about the styles, since we know, y'all know, I like clothes. That is my thing. New York's, what is it? New York's the Fashion Week. Fashion Week is usually the 15th through 17th. Actually, it's supposed to be the 15th through the 17th this year.
Right.
That's what, next week?
Right. Yes.
Something like that. The 15th through the 17th, well, the Fashion Week was canceled.
I noticed a lot of things are canceled due to COVID, and it's kind of hard. Like I said it before, this is our new normal for a while. We still have to get used to it, learn how to work around it, learn how to continue to stay safe. It's just, yeah, that's right.
I'm sure New York Fashion Week isn't the only one, because this is like a global situation that we have.
Right.
But your designers are losing big time.
Yes, they are.
Big time. What if they decide to be a Lyft driver in November? They can't get the free money, huh?
Yeah, they could get the free money. I was like, wow, okay.
Well,
Ugh. Missed the first, second round, you just edged out.
right.
I'm like,
And what they were talking about, let me put this out here. So for my people that are fashionistas or into fashion, what's going on? You got your the fall, like I said, the fall winter New York Fashion Week is canceled, and it's usually around, like I said, around Valentine's Day. They always do it. But this year it was supposed to be February 15th through the 17th, and it is canceled due to our global situation that we're incurring right now. But I want
right.
to tell you what the colors are for spring and summer. Listen, even if y'all don't go outside, put on some clothes and get ready. You know, don't waste your swag. Don't waste your swag. So lemon is the colors. Lemon, oxfire, aqua, sea green, and light gray. So lemon, yellow. Okay. Oxfire. What color do you think oxfire is, Nyk?
I don't know. It just sounds
Come
really
on.
bright,
Okay, bright.
like a bright yellowish color.
Oxfire. Okay. I wonder what the people are listening. Do you know that are listening what they think? Oxfire is red.
Okay.
Oxfire is red.
Yeah.
So
Okay, I
that's
can
the
see that
colors that we're
red,
talking.
like related to a bull, ox related to a bull.
But you know what? I was seeing, but you were seeing the fire. Red,
Right.
yellow, you know, those are orange, those bright colors, like you were saying. So the colors for the spring and summer is your lemon, which is your yellow, your oxfire, aqua, sea green, and light gray. Now, this is what I'm talking about the clothing. The clothing that is in style this year, I know y'all seen it. The belt, plaids, the coats, the trench coats. You saw that at the inauguration, right? That is it. So you're dealing with the trench coats, you're dealing with plaid, and usually we're talking like the plaid bottoms and not just the just a plaid shirt. Plaid shirts, they're in there, but we know what it is. Okay. They actually, I don't think plaid shirts don't go out of style. Usually during harvest time, we all know, get yourself a nice plaid shirt, a nice cowboy hat. Once you have that nice cowboy hat, you're in business, and a pair of jeans and some nice boots. That will work during harvest. So that plaid has never, ever, ever gone out of style. But the plaid pants are back. That print, that red print, what was it, like red and yellow? Y'all know that print. And the blue and the green, those prints, the plaid pants are back. The plaid skirts are back. Belting, everything, a good jumpsuit. The jumpsuits from the early 80s are back. So for those of you who haven't gotten rid of or cleaned your closet yet, make sure, be assured, they are still in style now, or they came back in style. They say they'll not get old but clothes, and then they come back in style. Listen, that's back. The jumpsuit, the early 80s jumpsuit. You guys make sure that you go out and get it. They're charging you an arm and a leg, though, versus how it was before. It wasn't that expensive before. Now it is back. Throw a belt on it. Linda, I know you know, okay? Belt that thing. You can belt anything. The high-waisted skirts. You remember the high-waisted skirts were back. I seen the pants are back. A lot of people see the pants, and we already know our first lady, everybody's first lady, Michelle Obama brought back. Well, actually, she didn't bring it back, but she rocked the high-waisted pants. Who did her hem? It was amazing. 1 inch. All you saw was like that much of her heel. They was on it. Now they was like I said, her pants was a little big up in the waist area, so she may have lost weight. But the person that actually hemmed that, listen, her seamstress knew exactly what they was talking about, because kudos to you, Michelle Obama. When they walked through, bam, killed the game. Okay. The high-waisted skirts back. That's when you had the I had a red skirt that I loved. and it came down to my ankles, but it was a high-waisted. I was a Tri-Stone Missionary Baptist Church singing in the choir at that time. You want to rock your high-waisted. That's what's in. Now, don't take a skirt that is a pencil skirts. Yes, those are back too. Don't take a skirt that is not meant to be high-waisted and make it high-waisted. That's what you don't want to do. Okay? You don't want to do that because it doesn't look good. With the pencil skirt, you do want to put a blazer on though. Blaze it up. So I believe that's it. And for the men, I almost forgot y'all. I got you covered. Two-piece suits are back. Two-piece pants and the vest are back. So people are rocking the vest again. If you want to rock a three-piece suit, they're back too. They are back too. But what they have is the vest with like it's 100,000 buttons, all the way down. That's what we have. That's back in. So I guess we just covering it up again. That's what we are. That's my assumption. We are just covering up. We done took everything off. Now let's just go back and cover everything back up again, and then we'll start taking it off again. I told y'all don't nothing get old clothes, and then they come back in style. We know how that rock and roll. All right, let's here we go.
Hi, this is Gary with the team from the Reason Why the Morning Show. I want to give a shout out to Mel with Shop Talk, honey.
Hey, he got me a shout out. Shout out to you, Gary with the T. He be coming with it. I want to talk about 5 ways to boost your mood. Boost your mood with food. All right, let's get that going real quick. Usually I do a Mel's Medical Moment, but guess what? We're going to talk about food, and you guys can actually put it with that. Put that with the Mel's Medical Moments. Let's just combine it, okay? Because these are Q tips on 5 ways to boost your mood with food. So if you're feeling down and out, girl got your cover, all right? We are going to talk about probiotics. What is probiotics, Mel? Those are foods that are, you heard about antibiotic. These are probiotics. This is to build, and kill your yeast infections. For my ladies, you need a probiotic. It's found in yogurt, all right? Buttermilk and pickled vegetables. Now, I don't know too much about the pickled vegetables, except I did try, shout out to you, Yana. I did try some pickled beets one time, and I never had beets. It was like, well, just try these beets and then see how you like it. But they were pickled. I like dill pickles. I thought it was a good idea. I was like, okay, let's do it. Let's go ahead and do it. How you doing, lovely people that are just tuning in to Shop Talk with Mel? Listen again, I want to tell you the after show will recap. The phone number is 515-602-9667. Again, 515-602-9667, and share your views, okay? So we talk about the probiotics. That'll increase your mood. I'm sure it definitely will, because it'll increase mine. Because if I got an itch in my ditch, your girl gonna go get some yogurt, okay? All right, that's what we gonna do. Also, onions. Onions are good, and it'll increase your mood. I don't know if it's going to increase the person that's the recipient of you talking with onions, all right? Omega-3 fatty acids, those are your oily fish, your salmon, walnuts, flaxseed, what else do I have here? Canola oil. Those are things that will boost your mood. Oh, and your whole grains, if you're interested in whole grains. Now listen, if you are not a health nut or really into healthy eating, some people feel as though that this is healthy eating, you could just use, like, fry your chicken in canola oil. That's what I'm gonna do.
That's what I use.
Do you see? That's a good thing.
Yes, I use canola oil. I started using canola oil, oh gosh, around 10 years ago. My husband always buys this. Stop buying the vegetable oil. I want to use canola oil.
See, that's good. Yeah. That's good.
That's
and the other thing, folate-rich veggies. Folate-rich veggies will definitely increase your mood. And I'm going to tell you, even like the spinach and stuff like that, because that, that has your bees in it. Get it going. Lentils, avocado, that's a good fat, they told me. I just learned that. Now, see, I wasn't the one that liked guac or green. Like, who likes that? But they said that that's a good fat, and it increases your mood.
I
broccoli.
know a lot of
Oh,
people that like avocados. I don't.
I wasn't introduced to it because we sure wasn't introduced to it by
Yeah,
Taco Bell.
right, exactly.
Like, I don't know. I think it's a heritage thing. Like, this is what we do. This is what we eat. Here you go. Some people say that avocado tastes like um, sour cream, but I'm not a big sour cream eater.
Oh,
But
I love sour cream, but I
I
taste
don't
for
see the difference. The
mm-mm.
texture is different,
Right.
and it's
I
good.
have one of the listening audience saying air fryer is good and healthy for you. A lot of people are raving about air fryers.
But wait a minute. But we can't talk about air fryers because right now we're talking about foods that
The food.
that boost your mood. So what you cook with, that's your business. All right. So let's go with what else is it? Your vitamin D's like cheese, egg yolks, fortified with the foods that's fortified with vitamin D, milk and soy. Now I don't like milk. Orange juice I can rock with. Soy milk, yeah, I guess if I have to have it. But egg yolks. You remember back in the day, like old people used to okay, seasoned people, because y'all be getting on me. Seasoned people will like crack an egg and they would stir it up and they would drink it plain raw.
I've
They,
seen people put it in their orange juice, stir it up in their orange juice and drink it that way.
they said it's high in protein, but it's supposed to boost your mood. It's supposed to boost it. It's
I'll
supposed
continue to boil mine and eat it that way.
so we're gonna talk. We just say boil yours and continue eating that way, huh?
Yeah.
If you like spinach, wild rice they had too
Yeah, well, rice is good.
with the whole grains. It's
Mm-hmm.
wild rice, oatmeal. Do you like oatmeal?
I sure do. Will eat me a nice healthy bowl of oatmeal every now and then.
Now, see that's a texture thing to me too. I can't eat that
I
because of
grew
the
up.
texture. It's like
I grew up
slimy.
on it. Yeah, my grandmother, she was good for the grits and the oatmeal when you was young for breakfast. My mom's mom, my cousin, she can attest to that. You spend the night
But
at
we
grandma.
can't. But we can't talk about grits. We got to talk about oatmeal because
Yeah, but
oatmeal
I'm just
boosts
saying,
your
right.
mood.
So I'm used to that.
Listen, that
It's
I
good.
remember. I guess I was being introduced to oatmeal.
Uh-huh.
I was that child that will sit at the table all day. You know, they be like, you're gonna sit there until you eat it. Sun will go down. I'll be looking out the window. I'm not eating
You
it.
wasn't one of them kids.
I was definitely one of those. So I'm gonna ask you, I'm gonna go through this, Nyk, and I'm gonna ask you what foods, just say yes or no if you eat it, okay?
Okay.
Yogurt,
What?
yogurt,
Yes.
buttermilk,
No.
pickled vegetables.
Depending on what it is, yes.
What? Give me a pickled vegetable.
A beet.
Okay, see, I was introduced. I had a beet. Remember, I was talking about that earlier. I had a pickled beet. But what else would you pickle?
You can pickle a lot. You can pickle a lot. Vegetable wise, well, pickles.
One of the viewers, Linda says she's
cucumbers.
with you. Linda says she's with you with the oatmeal. She like oatmeal.
Right. Love
But
it.
what else would you pickle? Like, I don't.
mean, the actual
That's a
pickles are
vegetable.
cucumbers.
That's an actual vegetable.
Cucumbers. That's pickles.
Well, yeah, I guess that's a pickle.
Uh-huh.
A cucumber.
That's
So
what a pickle is, a
it
cucumber.
is. You're right. But what else? I mean, when I read it and it had pickled vegetables, and I'm wondering what vegetables.
Right. I'm wondering too, besides beets and like regular pickles, peppers maybe?
Who?
Peppers, like anything you put in like a vinegar base, like people jar.
You say somebody had pickled peppers? Peter
Yeah,
Piper picked the
jar
pickled
peppers,
pepper.
yeah.
Oh, Peter Piper.
Yeah,
Peter Piper. Wait, what? How does it go? Peter Piper picked the. I don't know.
Pickled peppers.
See, there you go. That's what you got. See, look at you. She into her nursery rhymes. All right. Okay. What about salmon?
Yeah.
Okay. Walnuts.
I'll eat them.
Okay. Linda, she said pepper, a pickled pepper.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So no salmon, no walnuts. What about flaxseed?
No, I eat walnuts. I just don't
You
eat
like
salmon.
walnuts? Okay,
Love 'em.
walnuts is a good one. Walnuts is
Uh-huh.
a mood booster. Okay, spinach.
It depends.
Yes or no?
Yeah, actually, yeah, because I eat it in my salad. I'll throw it in with my other
Okay, so you
greens.
eat raw spinach.
Yeah,
Okay. Let's see. Lentils.
no.
Okay. You eat cheese.
Yes, love cheese.
How about the egg yolks? You said it cooked, you'll eat that.
Yeah.
All right.
Fried, cooked, scrambled, fried, boiled, scrambled. There you go.
Okay. Hey, those are good mood boosters.
Mm-hmm.
I only gave you 5 ways to boost your mood with food.
Okay.
Now, what's interesting to me is that I didn't see anything that had fruit in it.
No fruits is mood boosters.
No, I haven't seen any fruit. It's, when you have like foods that boost your moods, I
Uh-huh.
didn't see any fruit. And I looked all over and I'm like, let me try to see, I don't really have a lot of food books at the house.
Right.
Even when I had Googled to look and see, I was like, I'm really surprised.
Right. They
So,
have everything but fruit.
okay, great, great. So we have some people out here in the listening audience that actually does like some of the foods.
Yeah,
And use
a
them.
couple people tell they love salmon. Somebody said they hate oatmeal. So yeah.
I can't do oatmeal. I am that child. I
Oh
am
my God,
that
I love it.
child. But they say that that's like the best for everything.
Apples
All
and
I
cinnamon, the
all I
brown
know,
maple
all
brown
I know
sugar.
that oatmeal is good for is a
Your
lady
heart,
next door. What'd you say?
heart healthy.
Yeah, it is heart healthy, but it's not heart healthy for rats and rodents. Did you
Yeah. If you
if
trying to get rid of rodents,
if you
uh-huh.
try to get rid of rodents, you could put some raw oatmeal down, they'll eat it. And what happens is I guess it was like their abdomen blows up on them because they can't digest it.
Because yeah, exactly. There's a lot of things that they can't digest that you can put in, especially people growing a garden. My grandparents grew a garden, so we were good with knowing what to put out to keep the animals away.
Now you know what though? One of the viewers, Linda, the one that said that her mood should be good because of the food that she eat, it
Uh-huh.
is. She's a comedian.
Of course then.
And, they'll be like, oh, well, what do I do? Where am I going? Where's my future going? So it
Right.
depends. I guess it does. And if you eat that heavy food, I don't know. But macaroni and cheese, I guess you can't have the macaroni. You'll be tired. Your mood will be exhausted.
Right. Yeah.
You'll be like, well, which way do I go? All right, Nick, in your closet, do you have some plaid? Because this
Yes, I
2025.
do. I have
Okay, so
plans.
you own it. You own it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Belt it. You got to belt it. Now, listen, when I say belt, I don't mean belt like, I can't even stand up right now. The belts with the loops in it. I'm talking
Uh-huh.
cloth belts tied to the side, like,
Oh
through that.
yeah, I got plenty of outfits like that. But yeah, let me see. The one plaid outfit I think it does have the little belt that goes to it. Come to
It's
think of it.
back belted and it'll look good. Get yourself a shirt. You can have, listen, the men's shirt, which never went out of style, the long, like the
Right.
white dress shirts or whatever. But even if
The
they have a
Carhartt.
color, belt it, and it will rock. Belting, I'm telling you, that's what's in. Belting, um, the what else is there? Like I said, the belts, the plaids, high waist is back in, and I'm gonna keep saying Michelle Obama. She
I
rocked
always
it.
did like high-waisted skirts and things like that. I think that is just it really looks good.
It's twofold. It can cover your muffin top
Yep.
and you look good. It's stylish. It's stylish.
Very.
So you have to be like, okay, well, what we gonna do? What we gonna rock? You know what I'm saying? But the high
Right.
waisted is back in. But when you wear, I want to tell my ladies out there that don't know, if you wear a high waisted skirt that's a pencil skirt, you want to make sure that your top is bloused in
Right.
some way. Like either you have like the shirts with the poofy sleeves. Remember the poofy sleeves? Like,
Yes.
you want the poofy sleeve. You don't want everything to be tight and thin. And for my big girls out there, you can rock a high-waisted skirt. You can rock the high-waisted pants. Now, the pants is usually high-waisted, especially for the larger women, is the palazzo pant. Now, we're not going, don't, somebody got to tell it. Listen, everything in every size, everything does not need to be made in every size. The bell bottoms, no, stop. And don't nobody, you got a stomach. Don't nobody have to know that you got a stomach. I got a stomach. Hide that mug. You got to be privileged to see it. Just because they make it in your size
don't
does
mean
not mean it's for you. But let me tell you let me tell you this for, and I'm not even going to say my larger woman. I'm just going to say the size. Sizes 16 and up. You can rock a high-waisted skirt. You can rock a high-waisted pants. Make sure your hem is good though, like 1 inch. You don't want the high ones. And I'm a tall girl. I'm really tall. So if you're tall and you over a size 16, you want to make sure if you're wearing the high-waisted pants, you want to make sure that your sleeves is playing. The sleeves is in. The sleeves was in back, and they really started popping again back in 17, 18. But when you buy yourself a blouse, rock those poofy sleeves. I'm telling you, and it'll balance out because it'll be a poofy sleeve. It'll bring your waist in with the high-waisted, whatever, palazzo pants or the skirt, and you want it to go straight down, okay? Rock it with boots. Rock it with boots.
Oh, yeah.
You'll kill it.
But let me add.
Go ahead and add, girl.
High-waisted, meaning it is made that way, not something that you just decide to pull all the way up under your breasts. I've seen that too. Pull it all the way up and you be going, that wasn't made like that. That don't even look right. So yeah, make sure it's made that way.
Make sure it's made high-waisted. You got to get it. And I'm going to tell you, you don't want to. Now, I did see where, what was it? Late 2018, early 19 in New York Fashion Week. Yes, Carla, that's what I was talking about. They back them poofy sleeves. If you wear a flare, your A-line skirts or a flare skirt, remember the long skirts was out?
Right.
And it flares, it's in the A-line. That's when you want to go with a top that is more fitted. Because you go with the poofy sleeves and the A-line skirt, it's too much stimulation.
Out at the top, flared out at the bottom. Yeah, that's
right. You want to balance. So if it's straight at the bottom, poofy at the top. If it's poofy at the bottom, straight at the top. You want to always accent your figure, not saying your booty, okay? Not saying your booty. I want to talk about dysmorphia. Dysmorphia is a disorder where you change yourself. Little Kim would be an example of dysmorphia. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts on Little Kim before we go into it? Because y'all got to help me with this younger generation.
She was beautiful, a beautiful Black queen, the way she was before. And I don't care that explanation she gave as to why she did it. That goes to say, well, yeah, she admitted.
What's her explanation for doing it?
Self-esteem issues, because she said every man that she's ever been with decided to leave her for someone lighter or a white woman. So therefore, she figured if that's what they like, she would change herself. Nah, baby, don't ever change men or women. Don't ever change yourself, your appearance for nobody. If you are happy the way you are, then that's the way you do it. I mean, change to be healthy. Don't or change because it's satisfying. You gonna make you happy. Don't change for somebody else. I wish I would. Please.
See,
but that was her explanation.
Now, did you watch the Salt and Pepper documentary?
Yes, that's that. Yeah.
Okay.
And they went through a lot.
They definitely did. Listen, you had to grind. You had to grind for anything that you actually wanted.
Exactly.
One of the viewers, Carla, shout out to you, Carla. She said, just like she agreed with you, Nyk, as far as like she should have left herself alone. I thought she was beautiful.
She
And
was.
and why do you do it? I mean, for a guy, because guys were leaving her for white women. Well, that's something you can never be. That's like, listen, if I'm with somebody and I find out that they're gay, I'm not mad at you for being gay, but I know I'm out the game because I can
Right.
never be that. I can never give you what you want. If you like what you like, I don't have a penis. I can't give you what you want. Now, and I'm gonna tell you right now, I ain't going to buy no dog. I ain't doing all that work going to go buy no dildo to shove up your butt. That's just not happening. So my thing is clearly,
Right. Let me just
get,
and
hey,
that's
I'm
what
out
you're
the
into.
game.
Because some women are into things like that, you know, but me, no. Yeah.
I guess if they like the guy because they said that's where the guy gets his orgasm.
Yeah.
A better one, I guess. I don't know, but how you know? Like, if I
Exactly.
can't, I'm not into it. I can't give it to you that way. I'm not interested in giving it to you that way because I always have a visual. You pull that mug out, I'll be looking like, we gonna throw that away. You know what I mean? You don't know what's on it. You know what I mean? To each his
Right.
own. I ain't mad, but I think that I can't give you that, so just leave the game. She's not a white woman, so why go change yourself to be white? Remember that black guy that we were talking about a few weeks back that said he was gonna change himself white?
Why not? Because a bunch of white people are changing their self black. They're calling it transracial now.
Transracial?
Transracial, yes. A couple white people have done it, and the one white person's explanation as to why she wanted to be black is because she's always wanted to say the N word. I don't care, girlfriend. If I know
wait a minute. Wait.
white,
So she's gonna be transracial just so she could say
she already changed her skin color and
so
identified now with a black person just so she could say the N word. I wish you would.
So wait a minute.
Around me.
So
Please.
Here's the difference because it was, remember we've been going back and forth forever. Nigga, nigger. See, there's a difference. Not that I think that anybody, nigger is an ignorant person. If you know that that's not what you are, it doesn't faze me. Who's the ignorant person is the person that's actually calling somebody that. Right. And so that stuff don't faze me. But back to little Kim, Carla said she should have left herself alone because she was beautiful. And Anitra, I love what you said. Black women act like they don't have the option of dating other. Yes, you can date other.
Yes.
And that's what she should have did. She should have dated other.
Right, exactly.
Instead of changing herself, like we just stuck.
Do not mutilate yourself and try to change and make yourself. No, because that's the same thing with Michael Jackson bleaching his skin. Well, he had vitiligo, but still, But
he wanted it all even. Okay.
Yeah, he wanted it all even. That was his explanation.
Transgender. I'm not transgender. Transracial is what they're coming up with, where you want to change
your skin color, right? I'm happy in the skin I'm in. I'm proud to be a black woman. Yes, they trying to duplicate it. They trying to be like us, but they can never, ever. I don't care if you get your skin as dark as midnight. You can never be black if you're not born black. Sorry.
So what about the people that are black that want to be white? So little Kim, do you think that, oh, you know what? I need to get her. I'm gonna reach out because she changed herself and to look like Zsa Zsa Gabor, because that's who she looks like.
Right.
And I'm wondering if her dating life increased.
Yeah, we need to find out about that because
I'm going to reach out. We do have a show that's starting, and it is Hip Hop Hump Day. It'll be on Wednesdays, and we'll talk about all the hip hop, the hip hop world.
The hip hop world.
We'll have a few hip hop artists that you lovely people know that I know went way back when. And we're just going to chop it up and have a good time. That'll be at 5 o'clock on Wednesdays, 5 o'clock on Wednesdays. So if you're not doing nothing, you chilling, boom, you know what to do. But I want to talk to what Anitra said when she said that why do Black women, you actually, she didn't ask a question, but it is a good question. Why do Black women feel as though that we can't date other? And why do we always have to, I was listening to a show, I can't remember which one it was on Sirius XM, and some lady had, nope, it wasn't, it was a WHUR, shout out to you guys, DC, Howard University, where it was a lady saying that we, talking about as a whole, Black people, Black women, we have the tendency to date in the muddy waters. We date dirty. We get our men from dirty water. I said, why is that? She said, it's either, here's her explanation. And I want to know if you guys agree with me. Her explanation was like, if we date a smart man, he's not good looking. If we date a rich man, he's not good looking. If he's good looking, he doesn't have a job. So she was saying all of those different scenarios as to why is it that we can't have everything. What do you say to her, Nyk the Voice? I want to hear what you got to say.
You know what? Sadly enough, if you look at it, if you think about people that you know, that is kind of true. Like if I'm thinking about it now, I'm thinking like, okay, I know this person got married to this person, and he's doing very well for himself and doing good. They doing good, but he's not attractive at all. So yeah,
once I date somebody that's not attractive,
huh?
Because they have money.
A lot of people do that. Well, oh, he ain't cute, but he got money. He'll take care of me. But yeah, come to think of it now, I've noticed that, and it just didn't dawn on me until you just said that. But yeah, sadly enough, that's how some people just think. And I guess that's because the cute ones think they're cuter than you or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, sadly, that's how some people think.
Or is it, I'm gonna ask this question, or is it that you know that old saying that you be smart, you get the grades, you get the money, you get the girl?
Yeah.
Do you think that that's what's happening with the generation now?
No, not really. I don't know. The generation now that's coming up, they just wilding, period.
Because and here's why I'm bringing that up. When you talk about women who go, I don't know if they got a sale, I don't know what's going on. They spending all this money, they getting new booties, new boobs. Like it's all about how they look. I just want to know why. And it might be the style now, but
right.
Say in 10 years, it's going to be the style. And how is the nursing home going to look? I mean, I ain't trying to be funny. Like, is the nursing home going to be the new club?
Probably.
When they get old, they booties, I mean, titties going to be sitting up like.
Just like.
Go ahead.
Older people with tattoos. It's a trend now, but when you get older, coming from somebody that used to be a CNA working, it looks funny on a very old person, and you have, and you know the history behind it, and you be like, okay, and they'll tell you, oh honey, I had this tattoo, I got this when I was such and such age, or I was in the army station in such and such, or I did this, and it's like, okay, Betty Boop done sagged real she
Betty Boop sitting on your ankle.
Exactly.
But I see somebody who had their eyebrows tatted on as an elderly woman, and I see somebody whose boobs, her boobs was still sitting pretty. She had a good boob job. But I'm wondering, like now, how is that?
Exactly. Yeah, and that's another thing. I guess tattooing makeup on, especially your eyebrows, that's the thing too that people have been doing.
It looks weird because it's tatted on, and then by the time they get older, because there are some young people in the nursing home, and I just want to put this out here because I have to, because it lays on my conscience. If you are on birth control, you cannot smoke. You cannot smoke cigarettes. You will be there. And I actually worked with someone who was young in a nursing home, and she was on birth control and she was smoking through a clot, boom, stroke, bam, and she's been in a debilitated young girl. And when you are with those people and they do, it seems like the younger ones are mad at the world and you're trying to assist them and they're just upset. You can't be upset with someone who's helping you, but you're mad at your situation. And usually most of them are, they're upset with their situation.
Right.
And it's like, okay, I'm here, so I'm just mad at the world. There was one gentleman that I do know that was in a nursing home. He got himself out. Let me tell you what his inspiration was. His inspiration was an older man rolling by trying to befriend him. He rolled by his room and he offered him to come and play a game. That person responded, "Get the F out of here." And then,
Oh my.
listen, and at that moment, that's when he started doing his own physical therapy in his room. And he is out of a nursing home right now. And I told him, I said, you need to go back. If that man is alive, find him and say thank you, or even reach out to his family and be like, he was my inspiration.
He
Because,
didn't have to be mean to him though.
but what he saw, but usually younger people in the nursing home, I have witnessed this, are upset with their own situation that they lash out at other people. And usually it's the people that's being nice. So people, CNAs, STNAs, if you work in a nursing home, you have to, instead of being upset with that person, just put yourself in their shoes and understand that they're really not upset with you. They don't even know you. They're upset with their
Just like
situation.
the elderly that are combative and want to hit you, it's not you. It's
Right.
not you. Because I'd have had a bunch of, listen,
But
I had one.
some of them with dementia patients.
Yeah, dementia patients,
They
they
do,
will.
but they don't know. But that's
They don't
part of
know.
it. That's part of the process. But when you're dealing with the younger ones that cuss you out and all this stuff, it is not you. It's them in that situation. And just imagine being in that situation at, like, if I looked at it even at my age right now, being in that situation and you see elderly people, that's not the future that you saw for yourself.
Right.
And once they get at that, once they get to that phase or that process, or just walking through the door, when you hear nursing home, and I don't know why it's that way, that's the end of my life. And it's not, because it's people that have lived many, many years. They like staff, okay? And they are in the nursing home. So don't look at the nursing home as it's the end of my life. They're gonna drop me off and nobody gonna come see me, because that's not it. But again, I told him he needs to reach out, at least if he's not around, reach out to his family and tell them that he was my inspiration. And so when he told me, he's like, man, get the F out of here. And he didn't have to say it that way, like you said, but he's upset because he's in the situation. So the only thing that you're looking at is your own personal feelings. You're not looking and caring about somebody else's. I'm looking at my feelings. I'm in this situation and this is where I'm going to die, because that's what thought process goes through your mind.
Right.
So with that being said, just let it go. Brush your shoulders off and just let that go.
Unless you get kicked.
Yeah, unless you get kicked. Look, but don't kick them back. All right, the after show, I want you guys to know 12:30. If you want in when we recap the after show, the phone number is 515-602-9667. Again, 515-602-9667. I want to hear from you, from my lovely listening audience, okay? Kim and Kanye, they're supposed to be getting a divorce. And I'm bringing this up because, this is like the last season of the Kardashians. So they're gonna be gone. We know Rugo will be like, bye, see ya. Good riddance.
Yeah, I ain't watching either.
Do you think that her and Kanye stayed together as long as they did because people kind of was like, she's not gonna last with him, or anybody for that matter?
Right, because of her past patterns, probably, a storyline for their show. Right. The storyline for their show, because now all of a sudden that the show is ending, now they're getting a divorce. I mean, and she tried to stay and help him with his mental issues as long as she could, I understand. But yeah, I really think it was more or less because of the show.
So tell me, Nyk, if you was married to Kanye and he had all his mental issues when he first went off, would you have stayed?
Lord, probably not. Oh, you crazy, and you ain't trying to get no help, boy, back.
Well, they say that like if they're incarcerated, mental disorder, stuff like that, they won't grant you a divorce. But I would have been gone too. Because I'd have been like, well, I don't even know who I married. Did I marry him or did I marry his mental illness? I didn't know about this prior to, because it seems like it happened right after. We all knew that he was grieving, but it seems like he really went off the edge
process with his mom.
But I'm no doctor.
And the thing is, he know his mom would not. She would be disappointed. She wouldn't expect him to act like that. So he needs to get it together. But and mental people don't believe it. Mental illness is definitely real. Definitely real. It takes a toll on you. Like, yeah. If you're used to being one way, then all of a sudden your diagnosis, you're depressed, anxiety, or something like all of a sudden happens in your life, traumatic, that throws you off. Yeah, a lot of people just, they just acting like they're crazy. No, some people, they don't understand. Like, and it's hard because sometimes mental patients, they want to fight, or they just threaten you or do things, but you just have to understand that it's real. Yeah. And if you really don't know, unless you were in that person's shoes, unless you were experiencing any type of mental illness, it takes a toll on you, just like a physical illness. That's just, so yeah, it's kind of hard not to judge people when they're mentally ill, but you just have to sit and think, what if something happens in my life to where I just lose it? Would you want people to treat you crazy or treat you differently? So yeah, I need to think about that, because if it was my spouse and all of a sudden he developed a mental illness from whatever reason, like traumatic, no, I probably wouldn't. I would just keep on him, make sure he goes to his appointments, make sure he is taking his medication like he's supposed to.
Then what about her job? That's a lot. That's a job in
That is,
itself.
yeah, that's a lot. But I mean, when you are married to someone, that's your job. I'm sorry. That is your job. When you're married to someone, if you really, really love them, that is your job. Now, if you just type like, I can't, if you tried and you can't, and they're not complying, then yeah, by all means, go do you. But if that's not the person you married, and something happened to make them
So how
switch,
long before should you, like, if I marry somebody and then a year, all of a sudden they done lost their mind and
give them at least a
start doing
good
extra
year
stuff?
and a half to at least a year and a half to try to get themselves together, especially after you find out what's going on, what the root of the problem is. See if they are willing to go get help. If they are willing to go get help and they're doing what they can and they're trying, making sure they're taking their medication, then yes, you stay and help. But if they're refusing and I don't need that, then no, you don't need that drama in your life. Of course, go. No matter, it's gonna hurt no matter what. You love them. You just wish them the best and go about their business, because I can only help you if you're willing to help yourself. Basically.
No, that's true. So that would be for better or for
For
worse.
better or worse, sickness and health. Yes.
Now, I'm just going to ask this question because I'm just going to ask it. Sickness, see, that's where I was going with that. The sickness and health. Sickness and health is fine, but what if they have sickness the day after you say I do and you didn't know they had it? Wouldn't that be a fraud?
Kind of, yeah. Isn't that what we talked about the show last year?
Remember last year? Yes. Yes.
That
Tell me.
was crazy. Like, man, you knew you couldn't get it up before we got married. Why you gonna wait until after we get married and then you go say, oh, and by the way? But see, a
So
sister like
is that fair? To the listening audience who may not have been listening last year to that particular show, we'll catch you up real quick. It was a lady. What was it like? She was celibate for what? 10 years?
10 years. Yeah, she was dating this guy for 2.
Yeah, she was dating a guy for 2. She was excited. Started her own life over. She was in church, got herself a fiance, husband. She was ready. And he didn't tell her that he had libido issues. So he could not get it up. And after, he didn't tell her prior to, after they say I do, what was it? What, 2 days later or something?
Wasn't it that
whatever,
night?
it was close by. He ended up telling her that he had those issues.
Right.
When is the right time to say that? So she wanted an annulment. And some of the callers were like, well, she needs to stay with him. To me, that was a fraud.
No, because he knew that, and that's something he should have discussed with her before. That's not fair. It's not fair.
Now, Rugel said that they should have had that conversation. He said they weren't doing, his question was, they weren't doing anything prior, when they were dating the whole 2 years where she could tell. Clearly not, because she was really upset about it, and she felt that she should have. Oh, yeah, it was. He told her like right after, and I guess it's like 6 months or something. She was trying to go ahead
and try to make it work, but yeah,
it
that's
didn't
the
work. He wanted
conversation
an
that they
annulment.
should have had prior to. I have impotency issues. My libido is very low. I can't. That's the conversation you have in the beginning. You don't wait, especially if you're with somebody that is, that is sticking true to that old traditional, I'm not having sex until I got
Remember,
married.
right, and she changed her life around, and she met him
Right.
at church. So, as a church goer, some members just feel like, okay, well, we shouldn't even be talking about that. They think sex is taboo, to discuss in the church. And okay, well, I'm supposed to not do that. I'm holier than thou. Well, wait a minute.
Right. As a matter
So
of
when
fact,
is the
it was
right
the
time to
show
tell
that
somebody that your joint don't work? Fellas, let us know. I want to know. Tell me.
it was the show that we had the pastor on that we
Okay.
that came up.
Did he?
That's how we ended up talking about intimacy within the church and
Yes.
so yeah, please.
Yeah, Pastor Mason out of Indianapolis. That's who we had. Yeah.
Pastor Mason.
Look at you. That's so funny. Yeah, nice looking pastor. Talk about the church grew as soon as he got there. The pastor growing church. I know it was.
Yeah,
Pastor, how you doing?
because he is very nice looking.
Right, but how do you? When should that topic come up? Like the first date, the third date? They were dating for 2 whole years, and he just did not disclose that he has some issues.
To me, if you're dating someone who decides that they are going to remain celibate, throughout your relationship until marriage or whatever, you don't have to divulge that information right away. Now, once you see that the relationship is changing and that you guys are getting serious and you're thinking about being together like that, regardless
Once
of
you
what
get
you say,
married,
right?
remember
Well,
once they got married.
have that conversation once you decide you're going to be serious, but way before the marriage conversation, even if because that then it causes the issues that they face. Be real about it. I mean, if you can't get it up, you can't get it up. That's not your fault. But you did not give that person the option to say, okay, I could deal with it, or no, I can't deal with it. You made that decision for them, and that was not fair to them. So if she was to get that annulment the day after they got married, then that would be nobody's fault but his, because he made the decision for her instead of when he saw that they were getting serious, even though he knew how she felt. He should say, "Listen, we're getting serious. I need to discuss. I have some health issues, and this is my issue. Will you be able to deal with that? If she's not able to deal with that, then you break it off right then and there before feelings really, really get invested." So yeah, he made the decision for her. So it is what it is. He got what he got. She really did good by hanging on for 6 months. A sister like me, bro, you could have told me you bye.
Now, does age matter? Because if they're older and someone says that, then I think that the female will probably be more receptive to it and more understanding versus some younger girl to be like, hold up, I'm not interested.
Yeah, I mean, age does
And
matter.
tell everybody and post it on and tell everybody on Facebook, go live. Look.
Right. My thing is, listen, at my age, yeah, you're not giving it up. Eventually, like men, if the wife ain't giving it up, they eventually gonna get some of them eventually gonna go somewhere and get it. So yeah,
Okay, so that's probably
it
what
goes
happened with
both
the
ways.
people.
If your partner is okay with it because they know they cannot satisfy you, and you decide you want to stay in that relationship because you really love this person, but your partner is okay with you being with someone else because of their libido issues, then by all means do you. Just protect yourself. But yeah, just to selfishly keep that to yourself until after it's too late, nah, yeah. I don't think I would have been able to work with that unless I was, like you said, older and been like, yeah, that's fine with me. I'm cool with just laying next to you and us, you know. hugging, because that's an intimate relationship too, when you just lay with your partner and they just hold each other, you know, or you can get along that way. That's an intimate relationship.
Cuddling. You want me to ain't nobody trying to cuddle with a person every day. I'm not trying to be rude, but you want to cuddle every day.
After a while, I'll be like, listen, it's time.
Every day, be like, oh girl, let me go home and cuddle with my boo.
Oh, no, not every day, but I'm just saying that is an intimate relationship as well. Especially if there's two people who are not interested, it's like they're not worried about it, but you still love this person and you have that intimacy of being able to have conversations with them. The communication is open. You still have fun together. You still do things together, and you're able to kind of watch TV or whatever.
Okay, well, let me say this about cuddling. Cuddling does increase your immune system. We talked about that as well. So just put that out there. But communicating, yeah, you want to keep the lines of communication open. And, you know, even being married, you got to have some friends. What y'all gonna talk about?
Yeah, you know, because
after so long.
Your spouse. And y'all get to fighting. So yeah, please don't. Because I'm after listen, you get on my nerves. Go.
So y'all just
friends. Go play. Go bye. For her to bye.
Is that what was that the invention of the cave, the man cave?
The man cave, the woman cave. And even that don't help. If you under the same roof, whether you in your man cave downstairs and I'm in my woman cave over here, we still under the same roof. I can still hear you laughing and talking. I don't want to hear you. So
look, unless you have a she shed.
Yeah, that's true.
Then it's outside. Then it's outside. But I want to hear from the fellas. If and I'll run it back again. If you knew that your libido was on low fuel, when is the right time to tell someone that you plan on marrying? I didn't think that was right that he sat there and married her knowing he didn't work, and she'd been celibate for 10 years, so she was waiting on this day.
Yeah, he should have had that
tell her. When is the right time though?
The right time is right when you figure out it's getting serious. Right when you know I really have feelings for this girl, and you know, and I know she has feelings for me. Let me go ahead and have this conversation and give her the choice before we get too deep into it. Because, like, yeah, once you deep into it, it's kind of hard. And for her, she did, like I said, she did real good through this thing for 6 months. Because,
okay, all right. Well, let's move on to the next hot topic, and that is Tip City. Are you familiar with Tip City? Tip City, Ohio.
Okay.
The guy robbed a bank. Okay, so they're still trying to identify this guy who robbed the bank in Tip City, Ohio, back in October. He didn't rob it with a gun. He had a spray bottle, and he said it was a spray bottle. He was going to spray the teller with a bottle of COVID-19.
Did she believe that?
Yeah, she did. This was back in October. So he got over, but they're still trying to find this guy. They need help with identifying him.
Did he have his mask on?
No, but everybody got masks. So
that's what I'm saying. It's going to be harder to identify somebody now because everybody has to wear masks. And I'm not telling anybody to rob no bank, but I'm just saying it's going to be so much harder now to identify bank robbers because they're wearing their masks. I repeat, I'm not giving nobody no ideas to be no criminal. Do not try this at home. Okay? I'm just saying, because of the pandemic and us having to wear masks now, it is going to make the police job harder to identify people.
Let me tell you what he had on. He had on an orange construction vest and socks over his hands. So there was no description of who this person was.
You can go to any sporting goods store and get stuff like that. So yeah, it's gonna be much harder to identify people now. But then again, well, yeah, no, because before you see somebody walking in the bank with a ski mask on, whether it be in the wintertime or sometime, you know that you get ready to get robbed. Whereas now it's harder because everybody in there got a mask on. So yeah, that's just
Actually,
they're not gonna find
he thought about that, because you figure even with the gloves, if he wore gloves and they would look and see, okay, well, we can do fingerprint with the gloves. I mean, he really thought about that. He used socks. He used socks. Well, what about the guy in Ohio again who recently robbed the bank? He went inside. He gave her a note. He didn't use a gun. He gave her a note. She didn't have any money in her drawer. Then he went to the drive-through and got $750 and robbed him through the drive-through with the note.
How you rob somebody through a drive-through as thick as that window is? Come on now.
So, what's your thoughts on that part? Because I'm still confused with, how do you get robbed through the drive-through? Are you like right at the window? Or, you know, I mean, you at the second drive, you know, you had to send it through the tube. Like, help me. And it's the same person. You was just inside the bank. Because now they have camera footage.
It depends on the bank, because some of the banks still have that first window right there where you can, but that glass, come on now, you know that glass is bulletproof because you're going to drive through. But now with certain banks, because like my bank, they're reconstructing everything, because I went to the one out in Boardman and I had just been there the month before. And I was like, when did this happen? They're using the ATM machines, or like ATM means automatic teller machine. They're using it as an automatic teller. You can either use it like you've been using it to get your money, or you can, you know, tap on it to get the teller on the screen. You no longer can see them, because they're starting, like my bank, they're starting to do that. They're starting to the windows, they're starting to, you know, block that in, break that in, and add more machines, so you can either go up to the teller and put your card in and get your money out like before. But if you need to speak to the actual teller, then you just go in and touch that you're waiting for a teller. They'll come up on screen, talk, you do whatever. So yeah, that
through the screen,
right? That one. But even if they came close to the window, come on now, they got the bank should have bulletproof glass there, just in case the dummy tried it. That one right there, I don't care what nobody say. Whoever gave that $750 in that window, that was staged. They knew that person. That was planned. That was planned. That had to be planned.
Okay, so you think it was staged? Because I'm thinking, like, can't you just like push a button and run, leave, whatever?
Thank you. You have the option of walking away. So if it was a drive-through, she didn't have to get that. So whoever that teller was, especially if he just left out of the bank trying it, and then you go through the drive-through. Man, she was part of it. She was part of it. Because you have the option of like, excuse me, you're demanding what? Okay, hold on just a minute. Walk away. Call the police. There you go. That was staged. Ain't no way. How you gonna go in the bank and not get no money? The teller that was smart. I don't have no money in my drawer. And then turn around and drive through and this dummy give you $750.
They're getting away with these robberies because the police can't identify due to the mask. And if this is if this is like you were saying, if this is going to be our new normal, how do we correct that? How do we assist the police? The police, their job is going to be harder.
That's affecting your money. If it's your bank, it's going to start affecting your money. Yeah. Yeah.
But do you have any suggestions on how to fix this?
Yeah, no suggestions.
You're the voice. Talk to me.
It's like, yeah, because now even with the cameras, like, because you know all the cameras, none of them have sound. Any surveillance camera for any business, they don't have sound. They just, you know, they need facial recognition, and then with the mask, you got to be able to identify their eyes. Something they need to come up with some kind of something. But
go ahead.
That's going to be hard now. It's going to be hard now that everybody has to wear masks. You'll have all kinds of fools running up in the bank trying to steal money. So I think it's the bank, and you can't just not have money right there in the drawer on hand because you're busy all the time, and that's where they get their money from, the account for people that actually do go in the banks and do business. For right now, I really think the banks, and that's going to put a lot of people out of work. But I
They
really
already have, because they closed down a lot of
they
branches.
closed down a lot of banks, but I really think they should all stick to just the drive-through banking for now and not let anyone in. A lot of banks, because my bank, they'll go back and be like, okay, due to this, we're only doing appointment hours. So if you're doing an appointment hour, you know who that person is that's coming in. So try it if you want to. I really think that's what banks need to do. Just close your doors all together and make a point. Let everybody know we're only doing drive-through hours. But if you really need to come into the bank, make an appointment. You got their name, you got their address, you know what they look like, and you got all of thetheir information.
Well,
That's
I'm
the only way
glad
they're
that
gonna
your
help you.
volume is working, because it's like distorted a little bit. So I'm trying to pay attention. Let me see.
Oh,
Now you
yeah,
do.
that's from when my phone it overheated. That's what happened the first time.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
I actually had to put it in the snow real quick to cool it off so I can
Oh my
come back
gosh,
to the
that's what you
room.
do. Okay, you put it in the snow. Be careful. I want to give you guys the COVID cases, the cumulative cases of people that died from COVID. And I know it's like sad, but this is a new day. We got to figure out something to make it better for us. 95,000 died of COVID-19 in January. The numbers are constantly increasing, so please wear your mask. Wear gloves. I have hand sanitizer in the car, but it's cold outside, so I have gloves on. But and wash your mask. You got to wash your mask, please. Yes, keep your hand
Keep
sanitizer.
it
Yes,
in the
but you
car.
have to wash your mask. And I'm going to say that because you have a lot of people that are using the same mask. So let's just really think about this. So you got your mask on. Whoever you talking to, they little spit particles is just coming. Listen, I told y'all I had no idea I had that. I was spraying that many particles until I had my shield on. I was like, what? Oh my gosh, after I looked at it. But when you use your mask, you have somebody talking to you and you're on the other side of your mask. They're on the opposite side. Okay. And then you take that mask off. Now you done touched all the little spit. You touched it already. And then you go and you put it back on again. You cross contamination. So have several masks. Like I said before, DMs mean something different than direct messaging. They want you to double mask. We talked about that last week. But I do want to let you lovely people know they're talking about that there are some fake N95s that have been shipped to the US.
I heard about that. Yeah, that's not doing anybody any good. But look, I keep at all times at least 2 in here, and then I rotate, wash all the time. I need to get some more. But yeah, I ain't playing with that. I'm not playing with that mess.
Now they were talking about the US Customs has seized millions of counterfeit N95s. Here's how to spot a fake one. I'm going to give you this information, okay? It has 3 N inside of a square, and it says gold FFP2NR. Now, I don't even see where they put N95. I don't even see it on there. But the photo, I need you guys to look at the photos, Google it, and then that way you'll know what's real and what's fake, because we seize millions. The US sees millions of counterfeit N95s. There's some still out there. So I need you guys to know the difference. And this was 19, I'm going to go ahead and see it. According to CNN News, 19 hours ago, they're telling you how to distinguish them. I told you the ones that I saw. Let's see. There's one mask guideline that hasn't changed throughout the pandemic. You definitely should be wearing one. That's what they're saying. We already know that. But I'm trying to find where you guys get direct information so you don't get lost. Gold standard. If they say gold standard, N95 masks are, wait a minute, N95 masks are considered the gold standard for mask usage. Okay, we got that. But counterfeit doppelgangers may have threatened Americans' safety. Not meeting US safety standards means that they are not filtered. They may not filter out the airborne particles effectively. So you want to make sure you have the right one. Like I was saying earlier, as far as like what I say had gold on it, don't look at that. and think that that's it. N95 mask can also be mistaken with KN95 mask, which meet the standards in China, but not here in the US.
Not here in the US, okay.
So this is how you can spot the fake N95s.
Listen.
N95 mask can be mistaken with KN95. So that's how you're able to tell. I had to get that. Look it up, Google it, do what it is that you need to do. Your resources, check with your resources. But they just told me, don't mix them up. N95 with KN95. We got fake masks out there.
Of the fake
masks, crazy.
Listen, how are the airlines not allowing you to wear an N95 mask on, or a mask with the filter, or a shield?
Why not? When
you're not like, you have to wear a regular mask. This one, I have a filter that goes in it, but when I wore it on the plane, I had to take, well, I don't know how they know you got a filter in it, but I took my filter out. But some of them are double done, but like those that have the filters in it, like this one came with filters. The N95, they'll tell you no, or you're not allowed to wear a shield, or if you wear your shield, you still got to wear a mask up under it. That is defeating. Well, it might not be defeating the purpose for the person wearing it, because that's double protection for them. But no, you're not allowed to wear that on the airplane. I'm thinking that's stupid, because you are on a plane, enclosed, in a plane, in the air, with other people. They don't have as many people on flights now. Some of the flights still got a lot of people.
Did you fly Delta?
No, I flew Southwest.
Well, interesting. So it must be all of them, because Delta Airlines has banned masks with exhalation valves from the I'm wondering why. We need to find out why.
Exactly.
You didn't ask them?
No, I didn't ask, because they put it over the speaker system, but I didn't have a shield or anything. Or like I said, I took the filter out of my mask anyway. So, because sometimes it's hard to breathe with that filter in there. But yeah, we need to find out why, because don't you think the shield or anything that helps, shield people, like the mask with the so I don't know why, but yeah, these airlines are not allowing you to wear those. They have masks.
So you said yours was which airline did you use?
I use Southwest.
Okay, so Southwest, Delta, and United Airlines.
United. I flew United last February around this time, and they the same thing. No N95 mask, no filter.
I'm definitely gonna follow up, because that's interesting as to why.
I never said
you must wear a face covering. Now we do know that what's interesting is that the airlines are talking about having like a card, like the hepatitis B cards, and you have that forever, you hold it to show that you had the vaccine. They were talking about that. I remember that. I'm talking about you have to have the vaccine in order to aboard the flight. What's your thoughts on that?
I don't think they should do that, and they might lose a lot of money doing that, because I allow a lot of people that are not going to get the shot yet, because I'm not going to get it yet. I got to see what's going on for at least a year and a half, almost 2, before I decide to go ahead and let them stick me in my arm. Now, I know several people who said they're fine. They might have had a slight headache for like the day, or their arm was sore, but no other side effects. That's like right now. What about the long-term effects? People ain't thinking about that. What about the long-term effects? So before I decide, I'm just letting everybody know I'm not getting it. I don't want to hear nothing negative. Don't come on my Facebook talking no mess about me being irresponsible and this and that. Listen, I'm gonna wait until I see those that have already done it, see if there's anybody suffers any long-term effects, before I decide to let anybody give me that vaccine. Period, point blank, in a conversation. That is me, my body, my opinion. You ain't got to agree with it, because it's me.
JetBlue is on that bandwagon as well. Actually, they were on that bandwagon early on regarding.
Oh, I don't even. JetBlue don't even be in my radar as far as airlines. I ain't worried about it. I will drive, and everybody knows if I drove to Texas by myself, and it took me 20 hours to drive. I drove by myself. You know, I don't drive anywhere. So if that's what it has to be, and that's what I have to resort to until I decide to get that vaccine. But I'm not letting no resort, no hotel, no kind of bus, plane, or nothing bully me into having to get a vaccine in order for me to go somewhere and have a good time. Okay, watch this.
So you think that they'll lose a lot of money?
Yes, they will.
The people that have it. Okay.
Yes, they will.
I'm wondering if like the Moderna, I think that's the name of when they have to have the second series, and then we have the Johnson & Johnson where there's just one. Now, if you have to have two to show and a card to show that you had both vaccines on your card, like I said, the hepatitis B card.
Right.
How do you do it the following year? Because they were saying, and when I say they, because the scientists, that we all are trying to figure out what's going on and in limbo. They were saying that there's a different strand that's coming out now, and that this vaccination may, operative word is may, that's the key word, may protect from the next strand that has hit this area, hit the US.
But it's not definite, right? Because we have the UK strand and the South African strand now, and it's like, and Uncle DeWine just moved our curfew up. Come on, y'all.
Wait, when he moved it back up, we was just allowed out till 11. What's going on?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It went from 10. He extended our curfew from 10 to 11.
11, yeah.
Our numbers keep dropping, and he gonna lift the curfew. I need this curfew to be lifted.
Okay.
But last night, of course, in true style, I ain't gonna just blame it on Black folks, but I don't know how many times we had to tell people, wear your mask, and they still walking up and down, coming downstairs, going outside, just doing like this instead of putting a mask on. Or I got it here, holding it in their hand. Put your mask on.
Okay.
They ain't gonna like me when I'm by myself.
Okay, I have a Dr. Teresa Marie Amato. She actually stated why, airlines have went this way. Okay. Those vows seem to not stop the virus from traveling as far. Let's see, Dr. Teresa Marie Amato, the chair of the emergency medicine at LIJ Forest Hills, told Fox 5 New York. So while some people feel and these are her words, so I don't want to mess them up. So while some people feel they are more comfortable, they start to kind of defeat the purpose of actually wearing the mask, which is to protect the people around you. So they're like, "No, keep your germs to yourself." Okay. Fox 5, that's where we got that from. Look, like, Fox 5 told us. Because I was sitting there like, I need to understand why. Okay. So they want to protect the people around them. And even though that they're more comfortable, they want to make sure that they're okay. That the people around them are okay. Okay.
But yeah, I'm still not getting no vaccine to get on no plane. I'll drive first.
He's not going.
No.
Okay, I can respect that. What else you got going on in the news? Anything good?
Let's see.
We got our new normal already, but go ahead.
Besides the Capitol, they keep it true to their word. They arrested folks left and right, putting them in jail. We got another lady in Mercer County that they finally got. She talked about she needs to be out to stay home and homeschool her 8 children, but the school started back January 6th. Her 8 children was at home while she was in DC waving the flag around and said, one of the ladies right from Mercer County. They got another person from Mercer County that a lot of people that I know knew, because of the children in sports and everything, in schools and everything. So they are not playing. Some people seem to think they're going to be lax about it. Honey, they're not playing. They're getting these folks in good form. Good form, you thug, you animal, everything that you called us back last year about you thug, you animal, you need to be locked up. I'm scared for my life. I'm running. Please stay away from me. There you go. Everything we had to hear about the BLM, and that was a peaceful protest. Yes, you have any protest, you're gonna have some people that want to be radicals, but yeah. And then when you throw it back on the same folks that was using all of that, you throw it back on them, they don't like it, then they want to make excuses. No, that's not what you called us last year. That's not what you said, everything else. Oh, the insults about, oh, those are welfare people don't got jobs, so they don't care. They don't have nothing but time on their hands. What about the folks that had businesses? What about the police officers? What about the veterans or people that, the veterans that got caught? What about some of the House representatives and everything that was in on that are starting to go to jail now? Okay, was they on welfare? Ugh, what? Were they not? Are they folks that don't have nothing to lose because they don't have a job? Some of these people were wearing their business jackets and things like that. So yeah, please be mindful of what you say about people sometimes.
You definitely do.
Especially when it can come back on you. But that's about it. That's all I have.
That's all you got.
That's all I got. Yes. That was a mouthful.
It surely was. It surely was. Nick Cannon tested positive. Let's say that to let the lovely people know. Yeah, he tested positive for COVID. They have Niecy Nash. She's filling in on the Masked Singer for him.
Oh, okay.
Know that they canceled Wild 'N Out.
Well, yeah.
And now he's rehired as the host. For Nick Cannon news, usually you don't really hear too much about Nick Cannon. What we knew about the American Idol, remember for what he said.
Right.
And Nick Cannon rehired as the host of Wild 'N Out after he apologized for anti-Semitic remarks. There we go. Now he did his comedy show for the American Idol. Remember, he talked about them and they wanted him to apologize and he wouldn't, and he left the American Idol. So now he didn't go back. Now for Wild 'N Out, they canceled his show because he actually had some anti-Semitic remarks. And what he actually said was that he apologized. He's going to educate himself. And, he said after, he comes back, he's still going to educate himself because he doesn't know. So they went on and they accepted his apology for that. Now, my thing is this. We were going back and forth regarding Nick Cannon. He apologized for it. Do you think, because he's not missing any money, honestly.
No, he's not.
When we're talking about for the Wild 'N Out, do you think he apologized because he has so many people on his staff? Or does he genuinely apologize for making the
He probably was thinking more about the people on his staff, because Nick Cannon is going in the direction, he's into pro-blackness. I think he did that more so because of the people that was on his staff that stood to lose their jobs, which I commend him for that. But yeah, when are we gonna stop having to apologize for everything? Don't nobody else apologize, or their apology be fake. So if they do, that, just to keep the money rolling in. So guess what? He did the same thing just to keep that little bit of money rolling in and keep his staff, employed. I think that was just that. I really don't think
he did it for the other people.
For the other people, right? I really don't think. Yeah, he probably still staying true to what he said, and yeah, but I guess if they can backpedal, so can we. Yeah, to keep your money.
You gotta do mess with that bag. You're like, oh no, we're not gonna do this at all. All right, the Wendy Williams biopic. Wendy Williams, what did you well, let me say this. Wendy Williams biopic, on there, she actually told all about her. And she talked about how she had a one-night stand with Method Man. Now, and it's on there. It's her story. It's her truth. And if she's gonna dish the dirt on everybody else, hey, why not dish it on her?
On herself.
So I could appreciate that. And actually, after watching the biopic, I have more respect for her. Because I saw what she was going through. I'm like, oh wow,
she really, with that husband.
Even before, and she said it, she was herself before he even came along. So he knew who she was. She didn't know who he was.
Right.
Now Method Man's wife, she won a fire back, going on different shows, talking about Wendy need to get her life and don't worry about my husband and keep him out of her mouth. Do you think that was necessary? His wife,
no, because my thing is,
go ahead.
If it was such a big thing to him, or if he's so bothered by it, why isn't he speaking up? Why is she speaking up? that was not her. Well, unless they were married, unless she was married to him while him and Wendy was messing around, that wasn't her business to speak up on it. That's his business to speak up on it. So she need to pipe down and leave it alone, especially if she was not married to him before. I don't know if they were married before or not, but if she wasn't, mind your business, boo-boo. That happened before you. Boom.
And that's the way that I feel. I'm like, what is she trying to use it to capitalize off of or to make herself known?
Basically, that's what it seems like. But yeah, and then you have a lot of people like, oh, I know Method Man wasn't messing with Wendy, and ew, I can't listen. Wendy didn't always look like that. Back in the day, Wendy was actually a very pretty girl. She is going through, you know, whatever disease, and then on top of that, she's another Lil' Kim wanting to change her body for whatever satisfaction, whether I don't know whether she's doing it for her or trying to look for somebody else. So that's why we have the Wendy that we have now looking away, but she was not always that bad looking. She was not. She was a very, very nice looking woman. So yeah, so and it don't matter what she looked like. She could have had an eyeball in the middle of her forehead. If that's who Method Man,
your husband was with her.
Exactly. So if Method Man chose to mess with her, looking the way she looked, whether she had that eyeball in the middle of her forehead, whether she had 3 breasts or whatever, that's on him. If he decided to creep with her, he was still with her. So right. Y'all stop doing that. Oh, he was with so-and-so, she ugly. Oh, obviously he felt something, whether he felt something or whether it was just a lay, because obviously that's what it was, but still, whether it was just a creepy situation, the point of the matter is they got something that some of y'all did not. And obviously you sounded like you're jealous because you wasn't in her shoes.
And I didn't think that that was a big issue. That was back in the 90s, girl. That was before you get over it. And if here's my thing, if he had an issue, how come he didn't respond?
How come he's not responding? Why does the wife have to respond? Let him respond.
Like that pastor, remember we talked about a while back where the wife actually responded. Okay, John Gray.
Yeah.
Why is the wife speaking? This is you doing that. Why is the wife taking up for you? When do we stand down? And I mean, well, I guess it was a difference because that wife was going after a guy where his wife is going after Wendy. But if it's the truth, they had a fling and she said it. What you ashamed of? What you embarrassed of? You did it.
Right.
That's nothing. You actually did it.
Let's hurry up.
Let's hurry up because we got to wrap the show up. But let's hurry up and talk about T.I. and Tiny. You thought I wasn't going to bring that up. I have to.
Listen, them grown folks knew what they were getting into when they went there. Because the girl that's spilling all the beans now was the one that was actually going out getting folks for them. And she was involved with it.
Go ahead. I want you to do that story. Go ahead.
So it's like, I don't know what transpired or what made her decide to come out and bring out the allegations, everything, but boo-boo, you admitted on, I don't know if it was on her Twitter or whatever, that they were sending you to get girls, and sometimes you would get people and you would join in. So now all of a sudden you want to tell why you ain't getting your attention no more. What's going on? What was the purpose? Because anybody that went to go have sex with them or however, or if he rough or he like it like this or the S&M and everything, you grown people knew what you was getting into when you went there. If you didn't want to be subjected to being with a woman and a man in a big orgy or being tied up with a ball in your mouth and handcuffed and everything, all you got to do is say no and keep your tail home. You don't have to go. So what is the problem? I mean, if you were coercing it as a child, I can understand, or you're a child or whatever, I can understand. But if you're a grown person, you know what's going on, you know what it's hitting for, you know how some of these stars do, you know what's going on. What is your purpose for now trying to come out and speak up? Are you going there solely for the purpose of later on trying to get some money out of these folks? I mean, I don't understand. You're a grown person. You know what you want to do, what you don't want to do. You know how to say no. You know how to keep your tail home. You know how to tell somebody to go whatever. Yeah, go to HE double hockey sticks, whatever. You don't have to go. So I'm not understanding where all of this stuff is coming from now. It's like, you could have walked away at any time. You could have walked in the house, seen what's going on, turn around, and walk right back out the door.
True.
Anything.
She had an out. She had an out.
Yeah. So I'm not understanding what is the purpose of them trying to come out now. What you trying to do, R. Kelly them? What's going on? But see, the difference with R. Kelly is them as kids. Y'all was adults.
So why is it even a story?
Exactly. Because what goes on in somebody else's bedroom, as long as they ain't messing with a child or they're not abusing somebody that's mentally not able to, you know, commit and say, yes, this is what I want to do, not mentally, you know, able to consent, then what you do in your bedroom is your business. It ain't got nothing to do with me. Especially if you were a consenting adult, not child, not, you know, mentally ill person, but a consenting adult. Then whatever happened in your bedroom, that's your business. I don't want to know about it. Please, you know, if it get too freaky, I'm gonna let you know, please. I don't want to hear it. I don't, you know, everybody loves a good sex story every now and then, but if it's something crazy, keep that to yourself, please. But if you're in a consenting adult, what's the purpose of coming back and telling them? Because you know, unless they holding a gun to your head, now that I can see that if that person is holding a gun to your head or a knife to your throat, then yes, by all means, come on out, you know, bring charges on them. But if you were a consenting adult, you knew what was going on, and you were willing to do it, man, go ahead with that. Keep that to yourself, going about your business.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. So I guess they should just like leave it be. What's Tiny's best friend's name? What's her best friend's name?
Sakina.
Yeah, her. She like, get out of here. No, she's sticking with them 110%. Right. And here, that's I wanted to ask you about that. Is that the same thing with, is she looking at her bag? Because she is on the show with them as her best
she's back
friend.
on the show with them, because I know for a while her and Tiny had fell out. So
she's speaking up, and boom,
okay,
like her bag being jacked up. So she's like, no, we're gonna need to keep this.
I don't think her bag will be jacked up, because like I said, she does a lot of people hair, you know, her hair for a lot of the stars now. You know, some of them will be like, oh, you was foul, I ain't going to you. Some of them will be like, I don't care, that's their business. And then, you know, she was also what she had started on, I think, Love and Hip Hop. So she was appearing in different ones. So I don't think that was gonna mess up her bag. That was her just saying, if she know the truth and know what's going on, then yeah, you stick up for it. Even if you're not along or friends with that person anymore, if you know the truth, then be a stand-up person, be like, no, that's not what happened, that's not the type of people they are, and leave it at that. So I'm thinking that that's probably what that is, more so than anything else. Because she was with Tiny all the time.
All right, well, I got some good news before we end this show. Listen at this. Cancer has the highest survival rate now. So yeah, we got good news. You know what I mean? I'm like, we got some good news. Isn't that awesome? And I'm going to let you know where I got my sources from so that you guys will know. So let me say that one more time. Cancer has the highest survival rate, and we're talking according to 2021. Yeah. And this is why, according to the American Cancer Society, let me see, wait a minute, 1 second, I apologize for the delay. The increasing numbers of people who are surviving within 5 years of being diagnosed with almost all major types of cancer, according to the latest data provided by the American Cancer Society. But the improvement has been uneven across different types of cancer. But overall, some forms of the illness have great survival rates that have more than quadrupled since it's been in the early like 80s and 70s. Mm-hmm. So we got some smart people out there. We got some great doctors, some great lawyers. We got a lot of the Divine Nine. You see that all over. Everybody is talking about actually saying what fraternity or what sorority that they belong to once Kamala actually came out as an AKA, because Sunny Hostin, AKA Married to Medicine, Dr. Jackie, AKA what is his name? Oh my goodness, funny guy. He lost a lot of weight. Blackish. What's his name? The comedian.
Oh, Anthony Anderson.
Anthony Anderson. He said he was a Q. So
Cute dog. Yeah.
Ricky
Yeah,
Smiley always said it. I think
yeah.
it's amazing. I think it's amazing to be able to, to come out. But let me say this, with them coming out and talking about the organizations that they belong to, you can't be one-sided, because you got different organizations like the Proud Boys. And you can't be upset when that's their organization, even though we know what they stand for, but we're announcing our organizations. It has to be even across the board. It has to be even across the board. Sorry, people. Look, got to put it on out there.
And speaking of the Proud Boys, you see Canada is now declaring them a terrorist group.
What? So I need you to be clear when you say this.
Canada is now considering the Proud Boys as a terrorist group.
All right, you heard her. Nyk the Voice telling you, she's telling you.
And they also awarded the Black Lives Matter, I guess, their little whatever, Nobel Prize or whatever. This is in Canada, y'all. So USA, we need to get on board.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, we really need to get on board. Proud Boys terrorist group, Black Lives Matter, they got a Nobel Prize. What? Paula, say it again.
All right. Well, today's footnote is, it is never too late to start over. That's why I say it's a new day, lovely people. You are the artist of your own life. Paint something beautiful. Okay?
Yes.
All right. That is my time, lovely people. I thoroughly enjoyed you, as I do each and every single Saturday. Again, catch us on Wednesday with Hip Hop Hump Day. We talking all hip hop for 1 hour only. Just 1 hour on Wednesdays at 5 o'clock. You can catch us on the after show, where we kind of just do like a recap real quick. Doesn't take too much time. And if you want to be a guest, you can feel free to call in and tell us your views at 515. That's the area code, 515-602-9667. Again, 515-602-9667. And I'll see you, lovely people, next week. All right. Find you, embrace you. Most importantly, always, always love you. Until next week, people. Shut up. I try to go with you. I'm trying to go with you. Make sure we match up. Like,
I missed the studio.